Good morning, everybody. Good morning, and welcome to the breakfast show, Trading Ideas with SMARTRobie. And of course, we have heard the news announced yesterday that we will be going into lockdown. More from a context from Selangor. That's right. Now it's kind of interesting to see Kuala Lumpur is not in a so-called diluted lockdown, I'll call it, but in Selangor we have 6 districts as we can. But how is it going to be affecting our market? Let's take a look at what we have for you this morning in Trading Idea with SMARTRobie. I'm your host, Martin Wong. All right, so let's get on to our business in here. Now, today is definitely Wednesday. So in Wednesday, we usually do our trending list. That's right. And also, okay. But before that, thank you for your support all this while for our top fans, and we are giving a giveaway for the month of May and June. 300 smart credit if you share this post and like this post, and if you have benefited any of our trade ideas and also educational program, do share this and give us a feedback. All right, and let's go on to our Wednesday the stock trading idea, and we'll be looking also at new sentiment this week in here. All right, and not to forget, let's take a look what we have for you this morning here, and let's see. Okay, and we have in our Bursa headline this morning. That's right. Now in our Bursa headline this morning, we have the GST. That's right. A lot of news is already been talked about how we're going to get the GST coming back, and we all know that the hard-earned yield that is the country really needed is really not there yet. What I'm trying to say is that despite the COVID-19 and also the economic fell off that we have, the country need to raise what we call the very important COVID-19 vaccination and also grouping, and that's what we are seeing right now here. So for the GST, it's definitely coming soon. Definitely 2022. A little bit just told me about that one, but not forgetting, of course, what we have seen so far and the impact of the GST and why we definitely need this for the time being. And let me just get something up here. Okay. Okay, so this is what we have right now, and let's see what we have for you this morning. So let's look at the element that we have for the GST in here, and we have seen that GST can bring down the debt ratio to 55% of the GDP. So that's something very, very good also by 2023. So let's look on to our next news. Now, next news is definitely Harta Lega in here. And we all know Harta Lega skyrocketed. There's this news in here because of the good contribution. Net profit skyrocketed almost 1 quarter. It's about 1.1 billion. That's right, 1.1 billion for the quarterly ending March. Okay, so ending March 31st. And that's what we have right now here. So this is the ending of the quarter of March. So let's look at Harta Lega, what we have this morning here. And let's see Harta Lega. So we click on Harta Lega. Okay, hit that one. And so here we have Harta Lega right now. Let's look at the stock price this morning. And this stock morning, the stock price is up 0.4%. All right, so it's up there, but it's not really a huge concern in here. But let's look at the trend. Okay, let's look at the trend in here. Stock comment and stock chart, and you can see on a good news, profit taking. You can also see that. Let me just pitch this up a bit more. I will switch to a different screen here. All right, so you can see a different screen. Right, so what we have is that we have 4 days before this news came out, it hit a peak about $11. And we all know, usually, even on good news, on peak performance, people just take profit. That is the market that we have. We are at the mercy of the smart money that we've seen right now. So it's red pentagon. What do you do? So it's always going to be fall back to, are you long term? Are you going to be short term? Definitely, if you're on a short term, today the market seems to be holding up in here. But going forward, remember on Monday we talk about in our SMARTRobie, the SMARTRobie breakfast show, we talk about it on Monday, that going forward for year 2022 and year 2023, the profit may not be as high as what you've seen right now, but definitely from a chart wise, you can see the long period accumulation. I do believe this is a temporary pullback coming back here. What do you think? Let me know what you think. Just type it in there and let's go for it. So let's move on to our next story that we have for you. So our next story, let me just switch back to a bigger chart here. Our next story is definitely on CPO. Now we know that CPO has rise higher to about 4,000 in conjunction with also with the soybean oil in here, and a lot of the plantation stocks are supposed to move higher, but they have not. But today we have one trade idea on plantation stock, so make sure you just watch towards to the end of it in here. Now the story talks about CPO prices are higher on lower ringgit. Now early on, a lot of economists are saying our ringgit will strengthen, but now why lower ringgit? That's why I say a lot of people will always get it wrong based on the ringgit. The ringgit to US dollar, at the end of the day, we will only get weaker. We won't get stronger. What do you think, right? Now, like it or not, with the country that we have so far, a weaker ringgit will definitely satisfy many of the manufacturers in Malaysia. They're pretty happy with that. So going forward, always think a lower ringgit, which we always been talking about why we need to diversify outside of Malaysia. So the talk that this is with the continued lockdown of that we see in India because of the high cases in fact, so which means less consumption, isn't it? So less consumption of CPO, that would explain lower CPO prices, but CPO prices going higher. So that's why the press here has to write something which doesn't make sense in my opinion, and to talk about why the prices are going higher. They cannot justify it. So all we know, sometimes commodity prices tend to move mysteriously. That's why we trade by chart setup. Let me know what you think about this. All right, so if you look at this CPO prices in here, total volume had definitely been eased down. So what it simply says that, look, CPO prices are rising purely tagging onto the soybean oil over here. So got nothing to do with demand or supply. In my opinion, we have plenty of supply coming in here. Definitely labor seems to be a problem. So just like anything else, when the cousin, in this case soybean oil, goes higher, you have CPO price go higher. Let's go on to our next news, which does contribute to the Sarawak oil plantation. Now we all know Sarawak oil plantation, which is one of the more efficient planters in Malaysia, in Sabah and Sarawak, and this news, which is covered by the analyst, is giving it a rise in terms of net profit, similar to the Hatta Lega story that we talk about, record earnings in here, but we all know Hatta couldn't rise because of the sentiment on the COVID, and yet now COVID cases are going up. Why isn't the stock going up? So it's all got to do with a lot of sentiment in here. Now this story talks about SOP, Sarawak oil plantation, doing much better with the higher oil prices in here. Let's look at SOP right now, and switching to a wider chart here. So here we have SOP. All right, SOP here, and let's take a look at SOP. Hit that one, and where we are, hit that. Let's look at the chart price. So you can see SOP right now. You can see we have green pentagon. That's right, and it's kind of interesting. You look at it now. SOP went to 425. Smart money came in and started to distribute from 425. It just went all the way down to 375. Another push up now, and does it going to tell you that it's going to be distribution today? And it's always the case when good news, they will distribute. So let's take a look at this morning here, the livestock prices for SOP. So if you don't really understand, now it's down 2%, right, on good news in here, right? So if you are not aware of smart money using the pretense of good news to take profit and bad news to accumulate, many of the beginners especially, or if you are average investor, you tend to struggle in that sense here. And that's always been the motto of what SMARTRobie trying to detect smart money in here, especially right now. 33%, or even 45%, if I'm not mistaken statistic, our KLSE market is retail participant. The foreign participant is less than 25%. Right, so when you have 40 over percent that is retail based, so it's going to be swayed by sentiments like what we saw in Hatta Lega, good news take profit, SOP, good news take profit. Strange, isn't it? So that's all we're going to look at trends. So that means technical analysis are quite important. Trends, support, price and volume, VSA, it's going to be good. So that is something that we want to showcase with you. And those of you who really interested to upgrade your skill, our Raya combo, that's right, our Raya combo, a special deal. Those of you who came across, I will talk about it later, definitely will fit into that and to understand why the market does what it does. All right. Let's go on to our next story that we have for you here. Switching back to a normal chart, right? As the and then this is what we talk about here with the CPO prices maintaining as high as 3,500. You can look at the right hand side here. The profit will jump by 32%, but definitely chart wise, we are not seeing that one. All right, let's look at the next one. Is oil and gas again. Valesto. Now that there are some news about if the in Sarawak, one of the oil rig sink off. Wow, that's very, very scary, isn't it? I mean, imagine you're working in the oil rig and all of a sudden the oil rig sank, right? So this is definitely a big loss. Of course, they do have insurance cover at this. On rig is tilted. Subsequently on Tuesday, they said Naga 7 submerge at the location. Drilling activities has not commenced and no well has been drilled. It does say that 101 personnel on board are safe. So let's hope all these workers in the oil rig are safe, and many of you have friends or relatives working now. I hope they are in good hands now and in here. But let's take a look at the Valesto. After having said that, here what is Valesto price in here, but do take note, the oil prices continue a nice uptrend, but we need to know what's happening here. Let's switch to a wider chart here so you can see that one. All right, and okay, so you can see that one. So Valesto, let's expand this a bit so you can see Valesto is not going anywhere, still trading around between 18 and 15 cents in here. Not positive. Of course, there are better oil and gas players. I think I always highlighted those. You guys will probably know what are those two trade ideas we have for our good oil and gas. Valesto doesn't seem to fit into this oil and gas play. All right, let's move on to our next news. Okay, so our next news is going to be on Duo Pharma. Now, Duo Pharma, again, due to the vaccine that we've seen in here, they call it DBB, Duo Pharma Biotech. And there's some coverage inside here. Bottom line is some people like it, some people don't like it. Those people who didn't like it, the analysts in here put a sell of Duo Pharma at 2 ringgit 54 cents, and while maintaining a hold, right, this is from another broker house, maintaining a hold at 315. So right now the net profit is plus 12%. And usually when you have good news like that, going into a very bad sentiment. All right, why I say that is that I didn't do this morning coverage on the market. Let me just do a coverage very quickly on the main market in here, going to KLCI right now, switching to a wider chart. You can see this. So right now you can see our market this morning is holding up at 1588. Again, the 1620 seems to be that impossible resistant to break up in here, and the market has turned neutral. 50% is going to turn bearish very soon. But from judging from a chart wise, you can see here. All right, let's hit this chart here, and you can bring it up, and you would know, ladies and gentlemen, on the right hand side we have a red pentagon. All right, now of course breaking the 1580 to 1560, then this market seems to be going down and down and down. Now it is also taking a cue from what we are seeing also in US Nasdaq and the US Dow Jones, which we will go to that. So right now, if you look at the chart just on the left hand side of the chart, it seems to be moving in a sideways market, dangling between 1590 to 1620. At one point, I do believe in the coming weeks, if not month, hopefully we are able to hold above the 1570. Our KLCI will be fine, but I think we are in a month of what they call sell in May and go away. Right, that is the traditional month, which usually fear the May month seems to be the bad month. So I'm not surprised if we do have a correction in here, but if it is, it's likely to be a minor correction in here. So you need to do what's necessary for your trading plan. So make sure you have your stop loss if you need to ensure that you don't fall into an area where you have price volatility. And something we're going to share with you for our Pentagon Guider portfolio simulation, or we use it to trade with real money for year 2021. And those fixed rules we should give you out on our this coming Sunday. That's right. So this coming Saturday, 1 to 4 p.m. Make sure you join us for our investing basic, which I'll give you some information. We will discuss also the Pentagon Guide results, which I will share with you in the coming slides here. So what we right now that we see for the KLCI isn't that positive. You can see it's turning red pentagon and yellow trend zone. All right, so let's go on to our next news that we have for you. All right, the next news that we have is US market. That's right. Now, US market, last night we have a big sell-off from the US side, the Dow Jones, because of inflation. Right, that's right. The Apple stock seems to be the biggest losers in here, because being a tech stocks, they benefit from lower interest rate. Now, everything said the Secretary of States, the Janet Yellen, which is the Finance Secretary, very similar to the Finance Secretary, said that inflation is going to rise, and that comment itself so-called spooked the market. That's right. Just one comment from a lady in here, and there you go. Everyone is really spooked about this whole issue. And what we've seen right now, the Dow Jones did hold up, because many of the Dow Jones are value, and they are the traditional brick and mortar, don't rely so much on the interest rate. Now, inflation is set to go up. That means interest rate is going to go up. And when interest rate is going up, right now the 10-year yield still maintained, but the perception of the interest going up, and that has spooked the market in here. So Nasdaq dropped almost minus 1.8% in here, and they are pricing in new development in inflation rising. So that is what we've seen as well. So a lot of the tech stocks has fallen, including also the Bitcoin has also fallen too. So many of the stocks that we usually look at, Apple fell a fair bit. You can check it out at Apple on TradingView so far. All right, so what we have isn't that positive coming in from US. Dow continued to hold its level. Right, we haven't gone into a real correction mode, but then again, as I said before, sell in May and go away. We will see likelihood a continue of downtrend right now in here. So be warned, sell in May and go away. It's definitely coming right now in here, and that, if you ask me how long it will last, I'll definitely answer you on Saturday. That's right. So make sure you join me on Saturday for Investing Basic, a free seminar that we do on Zoom, and I'm going to give you a link for that one too. Or you can see on the right hand side there under a pinned comment, and you can get it over there. All right. So let's go on to our next story that we have for you. Next story that we have for you is our leaderboard. That's right. Our leaderboard of the intermediate trade idea continued to be good. If you look at item number 11, that's right, the two picks that we have, Hextar and Lotte Chemical, continue to move much higher in here, giving a 26% return and also 16% return. And the past winner that we have for the trending stock, now remember, trending stocks are those stocks are currently in stage 2 uptrend, right? Those of you who know, and these are something that we usually talk about in Zac evening session in here, stock analysis and review. And those of you who have come for our masterclass would have known all about this. KGB revenue, no doubt there are some already corrected now, but having said that, these are, giving the time frame that they came out, KGB 6%, and they have intention of moving up in here, My News, Air Asia. So right now, of course, we're going through a period of correction, but the recent one like LCTitan Chemical, we will look at it right now. So let's look at the lesson learned from our trade idea here. All right, so I'm just going to bring up the TradingView chart, and of course those of you who want to take advantage of our Raya promotion and able to get a plug-in like this together with our 12 months or even more mentoring and coaching, definitely this is something that you don't want to miss out. So if you look from here, we have Pekka. Okay, let's look at Pekka, which we talk about this on the 28th. That's right, 28. So the market made new high, green pentagon. Right now, it's just sort of moving sideways. The volumes seems to be okay. So you can see in here, nothing to be cautious of. Don't forget, the KLCI already turned red Pentagon. So many of these stocks is not going to go, except for the steel stocks, right? The steel stock has moved a lot, and later on I'm just going to update you also on one of the trade that we did. Southern Steel, we sold it off for a 30% profit early on in here, and then we move on to another stock, something I'm going to share with you for our portfolio simulation in here, and something that we use to prove to you that many of our members are benefiting. And if you're not benefiting on your portfolio or many of your trades, do join us and benefit from this what we call the fixed rules of Pentagon Guider that will help you. And those of you who want to upgrade finally, do join our combo Raya in. I think many of our participants and also are already making good benefits and profit, and I think you can do very similar too. Okay, so let's go on to what we have here. And okay, so this is what we have. Pekka, the next one, Pekka, we have FP Group. Okay, Found Pack, this is Found Pack. So you can see Found Pack, we pick it up on 28 on the nice line change, long period accumulation. However, there wasn't sufficient volume, so the market actually pulled back. All right, and you had a big sell. This is actually a tech stock, so we've seen the tech correction on Nasdaq, and that is also coming to this market in here. So right now, tech stocks doesn't seem to be very favorable. And how do we know that? Very simple. All you gotta do, go on to Robie smart chart. So Robie, go over to hot sector. You can see that at the bottom right hand side. Click that one, and you don't even see technology in there. All right, right now the hot one is healthcare, transportation, industrial product, Plantation. That's why we talk about Plantation, isn't it? Right, we have SOP, and then we have utilities. Technology seems to be going into the background. That's right, this is what we call sector rotation, which is important and something I'm going to share with you on this Saturday too. So make sure you join us on Saturday in here. So right now it is not that positive in here. Now let's move on to our some trades that we did pretty well. I think was Hextar, up 16% from the trade idea that we have 21st of April. Now you look at Hextar here, this was 21st of April, okay, and this was 21st of April. So if we pull from this point to this point to the old high, of course there was a correction here, a one-day correction, and that was a 16% up. Okay, so if you have gone in following Hextar let me just take this, okay, take this out, and following the green Pentagon here, okay, here and all the way to here, that is almost a 92%, very, very solid. And that is only from February, okay, for Hextar. That's right, only for a February from Hextar for that one. So how do you utilize all this good Pentagon data? The Pentagon Guider portfolio trading simulation, right? Because we want you to back test it first, and especially some of this guidance will be given in our course. That's right. So this is a 92% in here, gain from the green Pentagon. Very good. Let's look at the next one. Let me just delete this off. And LCTitan, Lotte Chemical here, and that's the one on green Pentagon. And you can see, let me just remove this first, right? What date was we actually had this? We talked about LCTitan was 21st of April. So 21st of April was 19. Yep, we pick it around here because of the green Pentagon in here, and there was a nice trending in here. So if you just pull the chart again, make sure you have a copy of this one here, let me just bring this down a bit here to where we are. Okay, around 28% profit gain. Yep, 28, 26, depending where you pull it from. That is what we have right now for LCTitan. So not too bad. We have those two that we picked last week. Our stock trade idea didn't move, but at least LCTitan and Hextar did move. All right, so what do we have for you this week? Okay, I think that's really the big question many of you are asking. Okay, let's take a look at it. Now do take note, Pentagon Guider has turned red Pentagon. There is a rule to this and what you should do, and if you follow it nicely, I'm going to share with you later on. Now for our today episode, definitely the Pentagon for the Pentagon Guided trade, but we use trending list is Ta'an. All right, and how do we get that? Very simple. You just go on to the trending list. Okay, go back to trending list here, and let me switch to a wider chart here. Okay, and you can see. So trending list in here, you can Ta'an and item number 10, and item number 5 is TSH. Okay, so TSH is the one that you're able to see off in here. So that's pretty good. Okay, so that's very nice. We got that done out of the way. So 2 trade idea, Ta'an and TSH. Now, Ta'an, we all know what do Ta'an do, right? So if you want to know Ta'an, just go over to Stock Fundamental. They are into also wood, okay, and also plantation. So, and THS is also plantation. Let's look at Ta'an first. Okay, now for those of you who came to our fundamental early on last month, right, and I did talk about this feature also in TradingView. You can see this one here, the name. You click on that one, you go to financial. So you can see the financial in here very quickly. A 5% dividend, pretty good, isn't it? If you're a dividend holder, and those one dividend with a PE of 20 times. Okay, EPS of 14, earnings coming up for May 26. So TradingView saying being it, that's what it does make a lot of sense to upgrade to TradingView if you don't have one with our plugin. So both technical analysis and fundamental, you can see it. All right, so that's what the power of it. Very simple. You look at Ta'an, if you like this stock in here, see that 3 buttons, click on that one, and you go to financial, and you can have this annually. And so we did talk about this also last week, or last training that we did, the free training that we did for this one, and how you're able to calculate the intrinsic value, all right, of each particular stock. Actually, we did that on our deep discount for our masterclass member. All right, we're giving you guys the formula in here, and for those of you who are interested to join us to know more about deep discount, the Combo Raya promotion, that's the one you want to take note. So when we do our deep discount using the free available tools that you have on TradingView, the fundamentals as I just showed you here, and the green pentagon, you have some of the best edge already. Okay, so that's Ta'an. Let's look at THS. So you look at THS in here, and THS continue to go higher. It has actually turned green pentagon a long time in here, moving sideways. Finally, the sentiments got much better in here. Started to move. World Plantation start to rocket up, like what we saw for Hextar on LCTitan, Lotte Chemical. We will see next Wednesday. That's right, next Wednesday in here. And after all, it's going to be a lockdown for me because I live in PJ. I have more time to spend with you guys too. All right, so this is the 2 stocks that we have. Of course, if you are interested, you can always switch over to the financials in here. It just tell you a 1.33%. So out of those 2, if you intend to get, probably my take will be Ta'an. Okay, and also you can switch on to a quarterly to look at the income statement. That tells you first quarter the margins are actually improving. Okay, and you have also this revenue is improving. But if you look at annual revenue, right, it's actually deep in here. So having said that, we have some rules also whether this is a growth stock or not. Following those will definitely put you in the right position. Okay, so let's go on to what we have next for you. Now do take note, the KLCI is already in yellow bearish trend zone, so it's heading a downtrend over there. Now let's look at the news that we have for you this morning. Probably we skip this for this in here and talk a bit about all the Pentagon guided trading portfolio strategy, which we are very proud of. Last year 2020 we had 106% on a $35,000 portfolio. So 35,000, if you have 100,000, that's making 35,000 in here. Of course you can do a bit more in here, but it's important that you follow those rules that we have for you, and also get the coaching and training for us. We are proud to share those rules with you. We are not afraid that we share those rules with you, and some people would charge more for those rules, but for us, as also you are a member of also SMARTRobie in here, we share with you those rules. And so far we updated this again because we took some profit and we got into a new position. We also cut some losses for the month of January to May. So far, right, January to May, we are up 15% in here, 15%. Now despite the market, we have saw the KLCI is still moving pretty much in a sideways too. So what we had for this one, for the 15%, and we're also updating you with a win rate of 75%, which means all our trades are winning 75% of the time, and we find this is pretty good. We don't win 100% of the time. I know some of you want to win 99% of the time, 100%, but if you do have one of those trades, do know about the reward to the risk. I think it's important. That's why we want to share this kind of education to you, that you're aware of this. And let's look at and this is the breakdown of it. So if you look at it, with the win rate of 75% in here, giving a 15% return. So remember, we have relinquished 2 positions. We have gone into Fajar, all match, and I'm going to show you Fajar after that. And Southern Steel, we have taken profit. No doubt, somebody was saying, hey, crazy man, we sold at 95 cents, but Southern Steel go higher. Let me just show you where it is. But we follow our rules. That's why it's important that you don't want to be so emotionally bound. So if you look at it, we sold it at 95 cents. We hit our 30% in here, and it actually pops up to almost 110. Right, and we actually went in somewhere around here, 73 cents on February. So we run it for 3 months. That's it. We go with it, because we do find that the trend could be exhausted, and also at the same time the KLCI also. So we went into Fajar, which is a construction in here, and it goes through a nice market pickup in here. Yep, we went in around 70. What price did we went in? We went in at 745. You can see on top there, 745 in here, and it's picked up to about 82 cents. Not too bad. So we have a good run in here. Will this give us another 30%, which we call it a gold ball? All right. Again, with something that we teach in our masterclass, the combo Raya is something that you want to consider to know all the terminology and how we're able to get in and all this trade. All right. So let's go on to the just another update. So all these rules we will be talking on this coming Saturday, 1 to 4 p.m. With a good win rate of 75%. Do join us. And the only 2 trades right now we have, you can see from here, is Fajar and VS. All right. So VS, again, we are still following our rules inside here. And if we do give us a good, right now we are about minus 1.7%, nor here nor there, but at least we have Fajar, give us the kind of thing in here with a win rate of 70. This is something that you want to have. Do join us this coming Saturday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. All right. Hot sectors, I think I talked very quickly about it. Some of these line change, again, I will go into more depth. But and also here, okay, let me just tonight, that's right, tonight is the prerequisite. So it's more like a pre-training to the coming Saturday. It's to have what we call the right mindset and technique to success in the stock market. So if you are interested for investing basic for this Saturday, tonight is the night where I want to sort of orientate you the kind of mindset that good traders, good investors, again, going back to the agenda, or train trader and train investor that we always have for year 2021. That's something we want to share with you. So make sure you join us tonight at 9:30, right? And of course, this is the this Saturday talk or the workshop from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Together with me, we have also Coach Arif, who's coming you with our portfolio training, and also Zac. We're going to be showing you some great trade setup in here, how to invest with low risk and high return. That's a QR code that you have, and also on the right hand side, you can also share this with any friends or your brother or colleagues if they want to learn more about investing, which have a good edge. We are up 15%, 75% win rate. Very easy to do, following the Pentagon Guide in here. Definitely you want to share this with them, and it's absolutely free. All right. So don't forget the Combo Raya promotion that we have. This will end on 12th of May. If you are still sitting on a borderline in here, you still got a few more days to go, because our June intake will come in. And again, those of you who have been following me, fair enough, this is something that we want to train you to enable you to see and benefit from that, right? Now remember, a portfolio last year, of course, this is our back testing, we have 100% return. That should cover the cost of it. I think at the end of the day, we need more time. Money can be made, but time, we cannot make it back. Whatever we lost in the past, we cannot make it in the future, because all of us have a finite amount of time on earth. Would you agree? But money, if you know the right way, if you know how to cut loss, if you know the right portfolio, the right strategy, you will definitely make it back. Okay, so that's always been the lesson here. All right, right now we're gonna go on to the stock review, and some of you guys wanted me to look at a couple of stocks inside here. Of course, we always give preference to our top fans who shared, who clicked like, and who shared our and very supportive of what we do, and also going over to Google Play Store and give us a feedback, and also on Apple Play Store for that one. All right, so this is the part where I usually do the stocks in here. So we got Abu here, that's right, and okay, let's look at Abu. Have NS. Oh, okay, yeah, NS, not a problem. If you have an NM, let's go to look at Mistron. Wow, this one really cantik lah. Oh, look at this one. If you're on Green Pentagon, somewhere around here, all the way here, right? Again, similar to Hextar, 100% return from the on trigger of Green Pentagon to right now. So right now we got Green Pentagon. It's a good entry. Having said that, this is one of those master class what we call advanced trade inside here. All right, good, thanks to you. So that's pretty good, Abul. Okay, let's take a look at some of the others who want me to look at if they do have some trades, if they want me to look at. Let me just check them first. All right, if there's no more trades in here, then we're probably going to end a bit early, right? And we will see you guys this evening, 9:30. That's right. So let me just check in here. All right. Okay, so that looks like the only stocks that we have from Mastron in here. Again, all the setup, nothing, no secrets in here. Being diligent, doing the homework, running a trade, understanding the sectors, and you should able to do well in the coming months despite where the market is. All right, so thank you for really coming this morning in here, and if you have any questions in here, we will address it tonight at 9:30 and so forth. If not, on this coming Saturday 1 to 4 p.m. where we have more time to dedicate to some of our strategy and using the tools to help you so forth. All right, so thank you for coming again. Thank you for sharing this video, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube at youtube.com/tradevsa so not to miss out many of our video full of content, full of quality education that will help you in the path to becoming a better trader and a investor. Thank you again. And for those of you who are first time, do type 1 in here, and do join our Telegram chat room, or at least share this with your friends so they can benefit from many of our ideas and discussion that we have on Trade VSA. Thank you for coming, and I'll see you tonight. Bye bye.